Have you ever been in a race where everything is against you? A race where the finish line seems so far away and time is running out? Well, this is the story of two competitors. One, a young, determined runner, the other, an experienced champion known for his strength and speed. But there's a twist. They both stood at the starting line, staring ahead into the distance. The crowd was silent, waiting for the signal to begin. The weather was harsh, the rain pouring down in sheets, and the winds howling. It was a brutal night for a race. But it had to happen. Time was running out. The young runner, only 20 years old, was nervous. She knew that in this race she was up against the reigning champion, a man who had won every race for the last decade. He was strong, he was fast, he was nearly unbeatable. And the race began. The young runner pushed herself forward, focusing on every step, every breath. The champion? He took off, powerful as ever, showing no signs of slowing down. His strides were long and confident. He looked like he was going to win, just as he always did. But the storm was relentless, the wind was fierce, the ground slippery, and the clock was ticking. The young runner could feel her muscles burning, her legs aching with every step. She looked at the champion ahead, so far ahead. Her heart began to pound. Was it even worth it? Was she already defeated? Suddenly, she slipped. She fell hard to the ground. Her hands were scraped, her knees bruised. The champion, still miles ahead, didn't even look back. The crowd gasped. Was she done? Was this her end? No one would blame her for quitting, but then, to wipe the mud from her face, she could hear the cheers from the crowd. But it wasn't for the champion. No, the crowd was now watching her. They knew something was different. They knew she had a fire inside her that could not be extinguished. She got back up. She wasn't done yet. Not today. Well, every step she pushed harder, ignoring the pain, ignoring the fatigue. She could feel the gap closing. Slowly, gradually, she was catching up. The champion was no longer so far ahead. The storm was still fierce. But now, it felt like the storm was her ally, fueling her determination. Near the finish line, the crowd was on their feet. The champion's face was filled with surprise. He turned back, realizing the young runner was almost there, almost by his side. The race wasn't over, and in that moment, something clicked inside the young runner. She surged forward with all the strength she had left. She wasn't just running to win, she was running to prove something. To herself, to the world, and with one final explosive push, she crossed the finish line first. The crowd went wild. The champion stood in disbelief. It wasn't just about speed. It wasn't just about strength. It was about heart. It was about never giving up, no matter how impossible the odds seemed. If she had fallen, she had faced doubts, pain, and exhaustion. But in the end, it wasn't the strongest runner who won. It was the one who refused to quit, no matter the odds. She had the heart of a champion. I mean, remember, in life, you're not always going to be the strongest. You may face storms, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but it's in those moments that you have a choice to give up or to keep pushing. The real victory is in your heart, your persistence, and your will to never stop. Push through the pain, keep going when it gets tough. The finish line may be closer than you think. Keep running, you've got this.